Veggies are looking good. Everything, was that creepy? Was that too much? I was just staring in here and smiling and I looked over. All right, let's start that over. Hi, I am Chef Tim, and this week on the island we are making Jeana'S roast turkey, artichoke, and white bean soup. Guys, doing something a little bit differently on the island this week. Today I have in front of me one of our winning entries in our 3rd annual National Soup Month competition. This is from Jeana'S. It is a roast turkey, artichoke, and white bean soup. It is delicious. We love the way she used the roast turkey and our white bean soup mix. Let me show you how to make it.
For this recipe, you will need 1 honey-baked ham bone, 1 package of honey-baked white bean soup mix, lots of chopped carrots, onion, and celery, artichokes, chopped honey-baked roasted turkey and lemon pepper, green onions, flour, and chicken stock, and finally, Parmesan cheese, lemon, and parsley for garnish.
All right, guys, let's start by making some honey-baked white bean soup. Could not be more simple. I've got my honey-baked white bean soup mix. The instructions are on the back, but I'm gonna walk you through it. To begin, I have all my ingredients out here in front of me. I've got a ham bone. I've got a big thing of sliced carrots, a bowl of sliced celery, a big bowl of sliced onion. I've got my beans from the bean kit, as well as my seasoning packet. This could not be more easy. Grab a stock pot or a large soup pot. You're gonna throw your ham bone in there, a big handful of your carrots, a big handful of your celery, and a big handful of your onions in there with the ham bone. Dump your beans in there as well, and dump about 1/2 to 3/4 of your seasoning packet in there. And then we're gonna fill that pot up with water. About 8 or 10 cups should do you, but if the water's not covering the ham bone, you'll probably wanna add a little bit extra water. And then we are gonna bring the contents of the pot to a boil over high heat. Once it's boiling, lower the heat to a simmer and then put a lid on it. We're gonna simmer it for about 1 hour. This has been simmering for about 1 hour now, so we're gonna move on to our next step. We're gonna take the lid off and we're gonna simmer it for 1 more hour. After that 2nd hour, this soup should pretty much be done, this portion of the soup I should say. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check our beans to make sure they're done. So grab a spoon and very carefully scoop a couple beans out, blow on them, make sure they're cool enough to eat, and then once they are, try one. It should be soft completely through, nice and soft and creamy to the very center. If it's not, and it's still a little crispy or crunchy, cook them for another 5 to 10 minutes and check them then. So once they are soft, we're gonna take this off the heat. So turn the heat off, remove the ham bone very carefully because it's gonna be smoking hot. And then once that ham bone is cool enough for you to handle, remove any of that extra ham from the bone and throw it back into your soup. Now it's gonna take us an hour to get to that point. So we're gonna move on to our next step, which is preparing our roasted turkey and our artichokes. Okay guys, next step, grab yourself a pan. You're gonna warm that up over medium heat. Once that's warm, throw some butter in there. Let that butter melt, and once the bubbling has stopped and everything is nice and hot, we're gonna throw our vegetables in there. Throw the rest of your onions, the rest of your celery, and the rest of your carrots in there, as well as a new addition, some green onions. We're gonna mix all those together and then saute those for 3 to 4 minutes until the vegetables start to soften, and then we're gonna move on to our next step. Guys, the vegetables are looking awesome, starting to soften a little bit, so we're gonna move on to our next step. We're gonna add our flour. Slowly whisk that flour in, making sure that it combines nicely with everything. We're basically creating a roux in the pan with the vegetables already in there. Cook that all together for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, and then we're gonna add our lemon pepper, and we're gonna drizzle in our chicken stock. As you drizzle in your chicken stock, again, you wanna whisk the entire time so that everything combines nicely. Once we're done with that, we're gonna move on to our final steps. Okay, everything is going according to plan to this point, so let's move on to our next step. We are gonna add our turkey to this mixture as well as our artichokes. Stir everything together, and then we're gonna take that off the heat because we're gonna take this mixture and we're gonna add it to our white bean soup. Stir everything together and then cook for 10 to 15 minutes. Guys, that is it. That's how you make Jeana'S roast turkey, artichoke, and white bean soup. It's officially soup season. Stop at your nearest HoneyBaked, pick up a bag of white bean soup mix, a ham bone, and some roast turkey, and get after it. We'll see you guys next time.